Hey everyone, welcome back. Hope you guys are having a great Thursday. So the markets are kind of down today. We're going to take a look at what's going on there, and really quickly here, just kind of look at the midday action right now on the markets, along with Bitcoin and the miners, really quick. And then we're going to get into the fiscal, well, it's not fiscal, Q2 for Cleanspark financial results. They provided those out yesterday. I listened to the conference call. Not much really new news there, other than what's already been reported. So we won't go over that, but we'll go over their numbers, see how they stack up from the prior quarters, see if they're improving, see if things are getting better. They did, I believe, provide better numbers, but we'll get into that here shortly. So, as always, you guys know the drill here. This is not financial advice for entertainment only. Do your own research. I'm invested in the following coins and companies for full disclosure. And if you enjoy this type of content, hit the like button, subscribe. Helps me out, obviously, tremendously, as always. Okay, so let's get into the markets here really quick. The markets you can see here are kind of mixed right now. S&P is down 0.21%. Dow Jones is down 0.73%. NASDAQ, on the other hand, is up 0.36%, while Bitcoin is down 1.71%, and Ethereum is down 2.09%. So our possible stop loss here would probably be right around the 26,100 mark, which is our 200 weekly moving average, which is the red line right here. This is kind of where I'm expecting Bitcoin to possibly go down to in the near term, within the next couple of days, weeks, potentially before we bounce back up, possibly. Right? We've obviously null and void our wedge here. That's no longer the case here, so we're getting rid of that. It looks more like a downward wedge happening here than anything else. Okay, so we'll keep an eye on that one. As far as the miners are concerned here, we can see really quick, it's a pretty bad day for the miners. For the most part, they are all down except for two. Argo and Boston are up just slightly. Ride is down 10%. Marathon is down almost 12%. Hive is down 7%. HUD is down 8%, almost 9%. Iris is down 8% right now. The Cleanspark is down 8.3% also. Let's take a look at Cleanspark because they did report their earnings. And here's what the numbers we do have for them. So they actually had a beat on the estimated earnings. They estimated was negative 31 cents. They came in at negative 23 cents. So that was a surprise of 27%. So that was good. And then revenue also beat a little bit here. They estimated was 41.82 million. They came in at 42.54 million. So that was a 1.73% beat as well on that one. Okay, so let's get into the numbers that we do have for Cleanspark here, and we'll kind of go over all that we do have. Okay, so here's Cleanspark right now. Cleanspark did report their Q2 financial results. This is what we're looking at here. The shares, they did dilute some, quite a bit here. They diluted, let's see here, indicate the number of shares outstanding of each of issuers' class of common stock as of the latest practicable date was 112 million. This is as of May 10th. And they currently, I have them listed at 77 million, so they diluted about, what is that, 30, almost 40 some million shares, and they did get about 90 some 9 million for that, I believe. It was like 37 million shares diluted, but they got like 99 million out of that for their, obviously, buying of the XPs that they're getting to 16 exahash when everything is said and done. So that's part of it. So they diluted around, 40 some odd million. To get there, we'll see if they have to dilute any more. I was guessing somewhere in line between 50 and 75 million to get them to the 16 exahash. So we're pretty close to that right now. We'll see if they dilute any more, obviously, this year going forward. Now, stock prices right now is at $4.49. Market cap based on the old shares out is 349 million. If we add the new shares, then we're looking at possibly, obviously, a bit more. But then the market cap would have to be updated as well. And we're not seeing that big of a change in the stock price. We're seeing a change in the stock price for everybody here. It's a down day, but it's not having as a huge impact as I thought it would have with the dilution. So right now we're looking pretty good on that. Okay, we've gone over their performance for April already, so I'm not going to go over that right now. We're going to get into some of the metrics that we do have here on the quarterly results. So last 4 quarters revenues, this is updated for Q2 and then the current quarter that we're in right now. And you can see here that they bottomed out in Q4, which would have been around, what would that would have been possibly right at the end of September, I believe, for that one. That's their Q4. Q1 is their October, November, December period, and then Q2 is January, February, March period right now. So ever since then, they have been going up here nicely as far as revenue is concerned. Current quarter that we're in, estimated revenues right now, it's estimated because we were still in it, but I'm estimating it to be about 45 million, depending where Bitcoin goes, where the network hash rate goes. It could be up or it could be down from here, but that's kind of what we're looking at. Right now, it's looking like it's going to be better than Q2 quarter as well. So that looks pretty good there. Okay. Last 4 quarter operating costs, you can see that has been increasing a little bit here. Not a big increase from Q1 to Q2, only about 2 million or so, 1.5, 1.6 million, somewhere around there, an increase on that. They have installed a lot more miners, so that's why the cost has gone up there. Cost to mine 1 BTC minus depreciation has come down to 11.8K for Q2 compared to 13.3 in Q1. Electricity prices have come down. That's a result of that, so that's good there. Bitcoins mined quarterly, you can see how they have been increasing nicely here, quarter over quarter, growing their Bitcoins that they do mine, and that was a result because of, well, the growth that they've had in hash rate. Now, given that we are going to be kind of in this doldrum a little bit here before they start installing more miners towards the end of normal year Q3, which would be right around September, October, and then into November, December, that's when we expect the real growth to come in for hash rate again for them. But in the meantime, it's going to be kind of a quiet period for them, so they might actually mine less Bitcoin depending where the network hash rate goes. So something to keep in mind there. Debt to equity also, we can see that they have come down a little bit here, which is good. Current ratio also has come up a little bit here, so that's also good as well. So those are all good signs there right now. Total current assets has increased to 32.9 million from 21. Total current liabilities is about the same, actually a little bit lower to 41.2 million from 41.6 million. And that's kind of just the quick metrics that we do have here for them. Now let's get into the actual numbers that we do have for them, and we'll go over those really quick. So we'll get into the metrics here that I have for all these guys in a minute, but here's the assets. So current cash and cash equivalents is 10.3 million, so that's up from the 2 million that they had in Q1. Accounts receivable is also up a little bit here to 47,000 from 30,000. Inventory is up to 746 from 382, so that's good. Prepaid expenses is up to 8.7 from 6. Digital currency is up also to 5.2 from 3.8. Derivative investment is up a little bit here. Investment in debt securities up a little bit here, just slightly. And then current assets held for sale is down to 5.3 from 6.4. Total current assets did increase to 32.9 million from 21 million, so that's a good sign there. And then other assets here, property and equipment, went up to 440 million from 434. Operating lease of rights is about the same, roughly. Intangible assets down a little bit here to 5.6 from 6.2. Deposits on mining equipment, so these are the purchases for the XPs. That went up to 34 million from 5.8. That's part of the dilution that we've seen. Other long-term assets stayed the same. Goodwill, about the same. Long-term assets held for sale, also pretty close to that. So total assets increased to 531 million from 486 million, so that's also good. All right, total assets is 531 million. Their current market cap is like 300 some million, right? Way undervalued in my opinion right now as it is. Okay, liabilities and stockholder equity, accounts payable and accrued liabilities. That increased a little bit here to 31.3 million from 27. Operating lease went down to 119,000 from 260. Finance lease also went down a little bit here to 216 from 218. Contingent consideration went down to 2 million from 4.8 million. Current portion of long-term loans payable went down a little bit to 7.2 from 7.5. Dividends payable, it stayed the same, 21,000. Current liabilities held for sale went down to 344,000 from 830, so that's good there. And overall, their total current liabilities went down to 41.2 from 41.6, so that's good. A little bit of a decrease there. Small decrease, but nonetheless a little bit of a decrease there. Then other liabilities, so operating lease liability went down to went up 5.5 from 5.4. Finance lease liability went down to 71,000 from 129, and then loans payable net of current portion went down to 10.3 from 12 million, so that's good there. And then long-term liabilities held for sale went down a little bit to 426 from 469. So total liabilities came in at 57.6 million, down from 59.7, so that's good there. And then you got total stockholder equity went up to 473 million from 427, which is good. And total liabilities and stockholder equity went up to 531 million from 486 million, so that's good also there. Revenue, we can see here that revenue actually beat, for Q2 in 2023, beat out their Q2 in 2022 by about 900,000 or so, which is good, right? Bitcoin price was much higher at that point. Because of their growth, they were able to beat those numbers, so that's good there. And you can see a nice increase, obviously, from Q1 as well. Self-mining also, so that's self-mining there. Let's see here, what else do we have here? Other services revenue was only 58,000 compared to 73,000. That has been coming down a little bit here, not a big deal on that one. Expenses, so expenses have increased to 22 million, but they are obviously, well, last year, this time around, they were only 2 point something exahash. They're at 6 point something right now. That's the reason for the increase in expenses. Professional fees went up a little bit here to 3.7 from 2.8. Payroll expenses actually went down a little bit, 9.7 from 9.8, so that's good. General administrative also went up a little bit here to 4.3 from 3.7, but still not too bad. I'd like to see that stay down. Gain on disposable assets was 3,000 only. So that was a new one there. Other impairment expenses, 194,000 compared to 83, so that's up a little bit. And then, let's see here, realized loss on sale of digital currencies, 1.4 million, so that's actually up from the 5.17 thousand. And then depreciation and amortization went up a little bit here, so overall cost of revenue went up to 60 million compared to 56 million here in Q1. But like I said, they've obviously grown quite a bit here as well. Gross profit margin based on that is negative 41%. If we take out depreciation and leave everything else out, profit margin is about 48%. So that's kind of what I use, the 50% net income from gross revenue. This is the number that I look for on those. Other expenses, let's see here. Other income was 11,000. Nothing else here. Unrealized gain, loss, and derivative security was 56. So that was actually a gain compared to a loss of 1.2 million there. Interest income was 52,000, so that's down a little bit from 70,000. And then interest expense was down also to 799,000 from 889. So total other income expenses was down to 680,000 compared to 1.6 million. So that's good there. So income loss before income tax, expenses, or benefit was negative 18 million compared to negative 30 million in Q1. So that's good there also. Those things are improving. And then as far as loss per share, you can see it was negative 23 cents that they reported on it. Compared to negative 46 cents in Q1. So those are all good things, okay? Now looking at the numbers that we do have for them, where they are, I did update this, I believe, to the latest numbers that we have for them on the quarters. Double check this, though, as always, to make sure that we're using the proper numbers. Yep, okay. So also they reported 42.4 million in revenue. I had them estimated at 42.5. I was within 0.16% of that, which I could not be happier than that. So that's fantastic there that we got them that close. And that's kind of where I try to be. I try to be within at least 2.5%, either way, up or down on those. Some of these guys are a little bit easier to figure out because they provide pretty good numbers. Others are a little bit more challenging, like Cypher, which has multiple locations, different revenue from those, whether it's reported or being reported as assets. But for them, we've been pretty close here this past couple quarters, so which is great to see. So I think with when I changed over to Bitcoin's average price for the month, that has definitely helped out, because you can see here where in June I was using the end of the month price. We were off by much more, but now using the average price has definitely helped out going forward. Okay, so that's fantastic news there. We're using that. We're also using the current quarter, which is right now at 45,000 or 45 million, sorry. And that's based on what we are currently seeing as far as what they are mining, the difficulty where network is right now, Bitcoin price, everything. Things may change, so that may also change. So that one's going to be fluid. The other three quarters are pretty much set in stone right now. Based on all that, we're looking at a combined total of 141 million, 50% net income from gross revenue. We're looking with a PE of 20 because they do have still substantial growth left for them. I'm looking at $18.18 for them on the lower end. On the higher end, if Bitcoin starts going up closer to 35, 40,000 or something like that, we could get up to $27 and change potentially. And if Bitcoin goes above the 50,000 mark, close to 100,000, well then you could pretty much almost like double this amount here of where we could possibly be, because they're just going to be generating so much more revenue from that, okay? So in my opinion, still way undervalued from where they should be. They should be closer, in my opinion, to a market cap of maybe like Riot, maybe 200 million less than Riot, and Marathon somewhere around there, probably around 200 million less than Marathon's where I would kind of see them right now, based on their future growth and everything else. That's kind of where I would think would be a fair value for them. Okay, so that is it. Let me know what you guys think of all of this. As always, a lot of information. Let me know what you guys thought of their reporting, and we'll see how they continue going forward. Like I said, the next couple of months are going to be kind of slow for them because they're pretty much built out right now. They're waiting for their I think it's Centerville facility to build out the megawatts there. They're getting all that stuff ready. Then they should get the miners in somewhere around, I think, October, November, December. They got to plug in, was it like 40-some thousand miners at that time? So that's when we're going to have that huge ramp up here before the having event, and then we'll see if they can actually get some more miners to get into the actual 16 exahash. Right now they're supposed to be at like 15.9 exahash as it is. Okay, so that's it. Like I said, I think this is a great stock, way undervalued, and we'll probably see a little bit more dilution, I think, before everything is said and done, in order for them to get to where they need to get to. All right. So as always, spreadsheets available to my Patreon members. Thank you to everyone there. This picture of the charts will be uploaded to the YouTube members here probably tomorrow, and that's it. So if you guys enjoyed it, hit the like button, subscribe, helps me out tremendously, and I'll see you guys in the next one.